The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WinBet has what you need to win. Sign up today, get a $100 free bet when you bet $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Bowl Challenge. $250 cash and a $250 gift card is up for grabs exclusively on the SGPN app. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You know me, you know the voice, you know the guy. It's me, Really Real, Villain Real, Terrell Furman Jr. at your service for another day in picks. Shout out to the Utah Jazz for doing what we know they do best and for doing what they don't do best. Appreciate you on both parts. Got my guy, Scott Studio Rusho. Scott, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing much. Looking forward to going through Wednesday's card. I know yesterday was pretty mediocre for me. Ended up losing the lock. However, did win the under. I did win the dog with AD, 30 plus points, which was really never in doubt. The Celtics aren't equipped to guard him right now without Robert Williams and without Al Horford. That whole game was really just a very unique experience. I'm sure we're about to talk about it because there were a lot of layers to that game, but it made me laugh. And that's the most important part. But you have any takeaways from that Celtics-Lakers game? Because there's kind of a lot to unpack from both sides.
I think what I took away from yesterday is that I think I'm ready to make my first future bet.
Okay.
I think I'm ready.
You want to elaborate, or you're going to save that for a rainy day?
No, I think I'll say it now. It's not going to get, for sure, it's not going to get like from 20 other teams in the league because only one team can be champion. But I think I want to go ahead and take Milwaukee to win the championship.
Okay. I can understand that.
When Boston gets at full strength and when Milwaukee gets at full strength, I think they're the two best teams in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm not certain how Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis are playing. Adding that to a healthy Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday, I'm not 100% certain that Boston has everything it takes to guard all of them. And if you add, and if they run into, if you tell me that they're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals right now, why would I not be on Milwaukee with the fact that they got bounced to 7 last year too? It just feels like everything can set up for these two to meet in the playoffs. And Boston looks really, really good right now. Best team in the league right now by far. I'm not taking that from them. But I'm not 100% certain that they can beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series with Chris Middleton this time.
For the record, by the way, Holiday didn't even play last night.
I know. So we're still waiting for both of these teams to be full strength. And I don't know. If I'm getting a better price on Milwaukee, I think I like it.
It's not even close in terms of price. Like,
it's not.
I think Boston right now is the best team in the league. I mentioned them for Coach of the Year purposes and stuff like that because I think they should win the most games in the regular season. That's the main reason for it. However, based on the current odds for the futures, you have the Celtics at around 3-1, plus 310, so slightly above 3-1 to win the title. Milwaukee's 6-1. If you're in there's no way that Boston is 2 times better than Milwaukee.
And that's my point. That's my point. And I feel like 6-1. I don't think they were 6-1 to start the year.
I don't believe so. But the point is, I understand your angle. They went to 7 last year. Milwaukee should be better because Middleton, of course, didn't play a single game in that series against Boston. So even though
Brook Lopez is better defensively, Bobby Portis is better. Like
in a 7-game series, I do think it would be very close. You could argue it'd be a coin flip.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you're going to give Milwaukee 2 times longer odds than the Celtics to win the title, and you're expecting a war between these teams anyway, and we think these are the 2 best teams in the Western Conference, doesn't really stand a chance.
Yeah.
And I think all the value is on Milwaukee right now.
Yeah. I was just sitting there. I was sitting there pondering that all last night. Like, man, is this the time? And I think this is the time. I'm gonna make that an official play, and I'm about to get down on it. I'm putting down a little bit on a future of Milwaukee to win the title. I don't think anybody else in the East can compare to the two. I truly don't think anybody else in the East compares to the two. So if you're telling me I have one series that I'm really, really thinking about, and I'm getting 6-1 on one side, and if they make it to the finals, I like either team in the finals. Yeah.
I'm trying to think do you want to run through some of the odds of the other teams? Because I
Yeah.
do think there's a serious drop off after the top two. You have Boston at around 3-1, 310. You have
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee at 6-1. Then you have two Western Conference teams. You have the Warriors at 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
I
Understandable.
understand the Warriors have the pedigree. As of right now, they should be a lot longer than 7-1. I
Yeah,
know the
it's
season's
not this is going off of past history and the fact that you just know what they're going to do when they get to the playoffs, but
they
it's
can't
not
win
how
a
they
road
look
game.
now. Yeah, it's not how they look now for
They
sure.
can't win a road game, and right now they're on pace to be a play-in team. So as of right now, they should not be 7-1. You have the Clippers at 850, which I guess are intriguing, but you can't trust Kawhi and Paul George or either of them to stay healthy,
I
which
don't
is a
think one
concern.
day off is enough. I think they're going to miss games in the playoffs.
I think so too. You have the Nets at 12-1, who I don't think are good enough to beat the Celtics or the Bucks in a 7-game series right now. You have Phoenix at 12-1. Serious pass. That team's imploding. You have Denver at 14-1, Memphis at 16-1, New Orleans at 18-1, and then you have Philly at 22 and Cleveland at 25.
So everything else is just fun. Like everything
Correct.
else is fun bets. But when we get back to the top, it really feels like that's it.
Yeah, it does. And the teams that are fun, in other words, are teams that either need to make one big move to kind of get more firepower, or they're teams that need a lot to break their way in the playoffs. Whether it involves the actual matchups that they have, whether it
Mm-hmm.
involves the injuries for other teams and not themselves, it does seem right now that Boston and Milwaukee are clearly levels above everyone else. You could argue Boston is maybe even a level above Milwaukee right now, but the point is, I think it's very close in my eyes between
Yeah.
Boston and Milwaukee, and then you have a serious drop off for 3, 4, and all the other teams. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock that in. I like
If Boston's
Milwaukee.
310 right now, Milwaukee should be like 400. 6 to
Yes, it
1
should,
is
6 to
way
1's too
too.
much.
Yeah.
It's way too much. And so I was staring at that last night, like, man, that's got to be an off price, and that can't be right. Like,
And you get the best player in the league.
and you have a team that has done it before. Like they've gotten to this point before. So if you're telling me I get the experience in a coin flip game, and I'm still getting 6-1, yeah,
Once again, it went 7 last year, and Milwaukee was missing its arguably second best player for the
yeah,
entire series. So
yeah.
I can understand your angle.
All right, cool. I'm glad we talked through that. Let's actually get into the
Do you want to break down
picks.
any of that Celtics Lakers game before we get into the picks, or no?
Not really. I mean, it
That
the
was so.
stars
The game
starred.
made me laugh so hard.
The stars starred, and AD and Bron really didn't get too much contribution from everybody else. It was really majority of them the entire game.
So the stats behind that, by the way, AD, LeBron, and Westbrook combined for 90 points yesterday. The
Yeah,
Lakers,
like,
as a team, scored 118.
yeah, that's not sustainable.
The rest of the supporting cast scored a total of 28 points.
Yeah, that's not sustainable in big games like that. And it was. I mean, I was intrigued when the Lakers went on a big run, but then the Celtics went on a big run, and I think really the biggest takeaway from that is that the Celtics are still resilient, and this isn't the team that they were last year, that they're going to come in and blow every single fourth quarter. And so I will say that they're not a walking fade at the end of the game. Like they've figured it out, and they've done it multiple times.
It's mostly Tatum, to be honest. Tatum couldn't even hit the rim on half of those shots down the stretch. It was just very, very pure. Marcus Smart had a couple big plays. I know that you were looking at the defensive end. LeBron late in games, I know that he's an all-time great. He's one of the best players ever. I get that he's older. He has some of the worst shot selection late in games, and it's been that way for years. He settles for so many bad jump shots late in shot clocks for no reason at all. And it kills this team down the stretch of games. And he had a shot to win it. He settled for that really bad sidestep three-pointer for no reason in a tie game. Overtime came around. The Lakers had no energy. They were cooked, and the Celtics took advantage. But I'm looking at the Lakers late game execution. They were up 12 with about 2.5 to go, 3 minutes, and the entire offense just turned into a jump shooting fest, and nobody could shoot. It was really, really bad. But the Celtics gave up a 32-5 run and still won the game, which is impressive. They're also making stuff up with their power forwards to guard AD because Horford's out, Robert Williams is out. They're giving Blake Griffin 20-something minutes. They're giving Luke Cornett minutes. It's funny when you look at their power forward depth because it's really bad. Blake Griffin in 2022 should not be playing 20-plus minutes in a game, but they found a way. It was really just the Lakers' execution. They gave up a three-pointer to Tatum. Then they gave up an immediate inbound steal with a free layup to Smart. That was 5 points in 2 seconds, and that turned out to be the difference because the game went to overtime. The Lakers are just awful down the stretch of games, and LeBron's a big culprit of that because the shot selection down the stretch is really bad. And AD also choked away 2 free throws again. That would have ended.
Yeah. No,
I have to mention that.
That's really one of the big things because this is twice in a row. That's twice.
I know
in a row
he's
that he did
tired, but
that.
he wanted no part of those free throws. He missed the first one. You knew he had no shot of making the second one.
Yeah, and it's just like I think that's what AD and Bron have to both realize that at the end of the game, AD's got to carry this team through. Like that's how you're gonna survive in advance. Like it's not Bron. AD's got to carry this team too. Bron, you get us there. AD, you gotta pull it through because at this point you are the person that is a top five player in the NBA when fully healthy and when you're able to play. Like you can get whatever shot you want on that Celtics team, especially with no Robert Williams. So that was disappointing, but the AD talks are never going to stop.
No, but you could argue that's why LeBron never goes to the rim late in games because he's afraid of missing free throws. But the point is, the Lakers have the star power to win any game because LeBron and AD and Westbrook yesterday can combine for 90, or just the two of them, AD and LeBron, can go for 70. But at the end of the day, they expend so much energy all the time to even get the Lakers into a spot to win games that they run out of gas in the final couple minutes. And once again, I think the shot selection late in game for the Lakers has been atrocious. And we've seen a couple of really bad choke jobs because of it, like the Pacers game, for example. They just really don't run high quality offense late in games, and they rely on the star power a little bit too much to bail them out instead of actually running good sets.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick before we move on to the actual slate, the Pelicans lost to the Jazz last night. They are still the 1 seed, I'm pretty sure, in the West.
They're tied with Memphis.
Yeah, tied for Memphis with the 1 seed. And you said what? What'd you say I think you said 12-1 for Memphis, 16-1 for the Pelicans, something like that.
For the title, Pelicans are 18-1, Memphis is 16-1.
Oh, okay. All right. It was close.
I still like Memphis.
I like Memphis, so
I'm saying Bane hasn't played that much. I'm assuming Memphis might trade for somebody, but they have pieces. New Orleans, I like. I think they're fun. I don't think they have enough playoff experience, to be honest with you. I know that they had a fun run there through the play-in, and they had a battle there with the Suns. I'm not sure Zion can stay healthy, but still, New Orleans, I think, is a little bit too young. Memphis has been there.
I think the talent is there. I think the talent is absolutely there. I'm just not certain what it's going to look like when you
mentally. I'm not sure they're ready to go through 3-4 rounds. I don't know if they're ready to do that.
If I had to take Memphis or Pelican, if it was Memphis versus Pelicans in a Western Conference Finals or even just a regular 7-game series, I'm taking Memphis. Yeah.
Memphis has been very good at home, but they've been there, and the Warriors.
And they understand.
The Warriors beat them last year. They won the title. I mean,
if Ja was healthy, that could have been closer of a series. They probably still would have lost, but it would have been, a little bit closer of a series.
And you could argue there's a chip on their shoulder because they lost to the inevitable champions who they view as their arch rival, and they've been on deep runs before. If I had to pick between the two of them, I would pick Memphis.
Yeah.
But
I still think they're decent bets to have. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's actually get into the breakdown. We got, a 10-game slate today?
Yeah.
Let's start things off with, when I can get it pulled up, the Detroit Pistons are in Charlotte, North Carolina to play the Charlotte Hornets. -3 for the Hornets. 227.5 is the total. Let's see here. Oh, man. Where's my injury report? Okay. No, that's not it.
I have it if you want it.
No, I got it right here.
Okay.
All right. For the Detroit Pistons, you have Isaiah Livers out. And Kate Cunningham is shut down for the year. If you didn't catch that news over the course of the weekend, I'm pretty sure it was the weekend when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kate Cunningham's getting surgery on that shin. He is done for the year.
Better off that way. I mean, they're 7-22. You might as well just prepare.
Yeah,
for
just call it in, and maybe you can get. Man, imagine Wemby on this squad. That'd be kind of crazy.
Just imagine them without Dwayne Casey.
Even like the top two teams are really Wemby and Scoot Henderson. Like, can really, really come in and add something crazy to somebody's team. All right. Mark Williams is out for the Charlotte Hornets. You already know that LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, Jr., Cody Martin are not playing in this game.
And Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, I said him.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure.
And line opened up at 4, sitting at 3 now. Looks like people are coming in on Detroit. Are you doing that as well?
I have no interest in actually betting this game. They're two really bad teams playing against each other. I'll lean to Detroit. They've been pretty good in the underdog role lately, and they play tough. I can't say that they're good, but they try. And every game for Boyan's a showcase game because the Lakers are rumored to want to trade for him. But Charlotte is a team that isn't very good. We know that home court doesn't exactly matter that much because the team's not very good. So I think it's kind of a coin flip game between two bad teams. I'll take the points. I'm not going to bet it, but I'll lean to Detroit. They've been good to us as an underdog.
Let's see. Yeah, they have. I believe they have. They should have.
I mean, you're mostly a double-digit underdog fan, but still.
Yeah, for the most part. Where are they at? 13, 12, and 3 as underdog for the Pistons. Do they win? I don't think they win these close games.
I don't really know because Detroit's 3-13 on the road straight up, which is awful. But Charlotte is 4-9 at home. I mean, once again, I have no interest in betting it, but Charlotte has lost 5 straight. They've been terrible. The Pistons haven't been great either, but you could argue they played against the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, they played against the Lakers. They've played against some good teams. I'll lean Detroit, but once again, do you have any interest in actually betting this game? Because I don't.
No, well, I may.
Besides player props, I mean, like on the side total. Like I don't have any
not really too much interest. If I had to take a pick, I'd probably take the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay. And
just because of the home factor and like you said, 3-13 on the road for the
Pistons.
For the Detroit Pistons, and the 3 wins at Denver, at Utah, both of those were double-digit, where they were double-digit favorites. And then the last one was at Miami, and it's Miami at home this year. They're really
and Miami was on a back-to-back.
Yeah, so I think this is. I'll just take the home team. I'll just take the home team in this matchup. It's not really too much. These are two bad teams, and I'm just going to lean on the shooters of Charlotte to get it going at home and kind of help bring that home record a little bit closer to the mean, which is 500. So
yeah. Any thoughts?
All right. I think it's a high scoring game. I think it's a high scoring game. I don't think anybody tries to defend in this game. I think two bad teams, they just go up there and get their shots. Like, this could be a fun game. I think it could be a fun game to bet in terms of like a win, build your own bet parlay, where you just take some of the top guys in this game and just take them to get like 20, 25 plus points at plus money.
I don't think either team has any defensive stoppers at all. So I think I'm with you. They're two bad teams. You might get a fun game out of it. I'll lean to the over.
No way.
What?
Dang, none of these guys play defense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can go through the lineups here. Like, there are no defensive players on either team.
This is hilarious. I'm sitting here. Okay.
You can like read off the starting lineups. Like, none of these guys are known for playing any defense besides maybe Doran. in
That's what I was
college.
sitting there. I was trying to all right, maybe Duran, it's still a little early for him, but that's hilarious. Okay. All right. I'm on Charlotte. You're on Detroit. We're both on the over. I actually kind of really like that over.
Mm.
Next game on the slate, we have the Atlanta Hawks going to play the Orlando Magic in Orlando, -2.5 on the road for the Hawks. 225 is the total injury report for this one. And we have Trae Young is questionable with a back injury. Clint Capella is not on the injury report. Bogdan Bogdanovic is not on the injury report. And then you're not going to see John Collins or DeJounte Murray. For the Magic, Jalen Suggs is out. Gary Harris is out. Okiku is out. Wendell Carter's out. So it looks like you're going to see Markel Fultz, Franz Wagner, Banchero, Mo Wagner, and Bol Bol versus Trae Young, Trent Forrest, AJ Griffin, DeAndre Hunter, and Clint Capella. Maybe Trae Young. I mean, this is easy for me. I'm not laying points with the Hawks on the road.
I was going to go with Orlando anyway. I think we're on the same page here. The Hawks have done well against Orlando this season, but Trae
and history, historical wise,
they've done historically, but Trae has killed this team in the past, and if he doesn't play, it's a big deal. I don't like Atlanta supporting cast. They might be missing arguably their 3 best players. Capella should feast in this game, so I would look for some double props, rebound props. I think Capella could walk into potentially 18 and 17. I think he could have himself a big game, but Orlando had a nice win there in the back-to-back against Toronto. They beat the Clippers. They won 3 straight, all at home. 7-9 straight up at home. But I do think that Orlando has found something recently, which has kind of made them look mediocre at times. Atlanta is a 500 team, missing a bunch of its star talent. You could argue Orlando will be motivated because they've lost twice to Atlanta already this season, and now Atlanta's compromised. I'll take the team that's won 3 straight against an Atlanta team that's kind of reeling right now. I'll lean Orlando, especially at home. If it was in Atlanta, I'd take Atlanta. It's not, so I'm not going to lay points with the Hawks. This team is really not that good right now.
Yeah, Atlanta's defense 19th in points per game, 21st in field goal percentage. All not good. Giving up 19th in offensive rebounding. So I'm on Orlando here. I think Orlando's going to go. It's going to be one of those grinded out Orlando games where you're probably not going to see a bunch of scoring on either side, probably because of the inefficiency of the Hawks, and 2, because Orlando's just not built like that team to go blow people out. But I do think that Paolo Banchero is going to do enough. I don't think anybody, DeAndre Hunter is going to try to slow him down. I don't think that's going to work too much. And that leads me over to Banchero's assist again. I'm going to play his assist again. I think that DeAndre Hunter is going to be on him like glue this game, and he's going to have opportunities to find a cutter, find people streaking to the basket. Franz Wagner loves streaking to the basket, and I think he's going to find him a couple times. So I'm on his assist again. I think this is a route, and Orlando should get this done comfortably. So, yeah, give me the Orlando Magic +2.5, sprinkle on the money line.
Banchero's assist, by the way, 3.5 at -115.
Yeah, I'm still like it. Let's go. Yeah. All right. For the total at 225, I
like the under.
Yeah, I kind of just said it. I like the under. I think that the Hawks are going to be inefficient, and I don't think Orlando's going to come in here and drop 120 points out of nowhere.
I see this game 110, 105. Something like that.
Oh, wow. You gave him a little bit more than me. I said I was thinking 180. I really think the Hawks are going to struggle in this game.
Atlanta's defense the last couple of games has been atrocious. So I'll give Orlando 110, but I don't think Atlanta's going to do much.
I kind of want Trae to play.
Just because of the back and the shoulder issues, and you think he's going to shoot terribly?
Yeah. Okay. I think I have a better chance of him having a 30% from the field day than a 60% from the field day.
I think I'd take the Trae assists if he plays.
Yep. All right. Next game on the slate, we have the Golden State Warriors -1.5 playing the Indiana Pacers on the road. 238.5 is the total. Injury report for that one. And we have Klay Thompson, injury management, unlikely to play. Andrew Wiggins is out for an extended period of time, as we know. Andre Iguodala, I guess it's injury management. He's out. And then we have Chris Duarte, who is out, and Tice is out.
You see Clay being out, or there's a
Yeah,
shot at it.
I see him as unlikely to play.
Okay,
So I guess it's because of the back-to-back. He's
it
unlikely to
makes
play.
sense. But okay,
And they're very well. Steve Kerr could wake up this morning and say, "Yeah, don't feel like playing these guys. They just played last night. Was it last night?
yeah, they
Yeah,
got run out of the building by Milwaukee.
yeah. He could wake up in the morning and be like, I don't feel like playing you because you just played last night. So there could be some more outs for Golden State.
How would you react if 28 games into the season, I would have told you that the Warriors and Pacers have the same record?
I would have said, "Dang, what happened to Steph?"
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have assumed that Steph got injured, and this was one of those years where Steph misses the entire year, and they're trying to figure it out.
I know Indiana's fallen off a cliff lately, but do you want to make a case for the Warriors on a back-to-back being 2-12 on the road?
I want to. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think I have to lean to Indiana, especially after Halliburton scored 1 point against Miami. I got to assume he's going to put together a hell of a game here. But Wiggins is still out. The Warriors defensively on the road have been terrible.
The Warriors should want to beat this team's ass. Like they beat them twice at home, back to back. Back to back, they beat them twice at home.
It's a road team that's 2-12, and you could argue the Warriors are due to have a good showing. Maybe they are.
They are.
They're an older team. They're on a back-to-back. There is travel involved. It's really not a good spot at all for Golden State. You also mentioned they might bench some people. They might bench everybody. Who knows? And like Indiana has not been good the last couple of games. They lost to the Nets, who are benching their top 8 guys. No exaggeration. They lost that game. And then they only scored 82 against Miami. But I think I'm going to lean to Indiana. The Warriors on the road on a back-to-back, I want nothing to do with. Yeah, I will take Halliburton props. I think he'll bounce back, but I think I'm leaning Indiana.
I feel like I would so much rather play Golden State, if I knew a bunch of money was coming in on Indiana, but everybody's still on Golden State.
Of course. Because it's a short spread, and people are going to blindly bet Golden State no matter what. Once again, they have the same record. Golden State's 2-12 on the road. Like, if you want to bet the Warriors, I understand the argument is their ceiling is significantly higher than Indiana's. I get it and all, but it's an older team on a back-to-back, and they're terrible on the road. If you ignore the team name and you gave me those variables,
it's clearly Indiana. It's clearly and just add that Indiana beat them on their home floor without their best player.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Indiana plus 1.5. Yeah, if you put this in a vacuum, you just said team A, team B, we would be all over Indiana. We'd be like, why are they not even favored?
I think I like the under in this game, though. I know that Indiana doesn't play much defense either, but 238.5 with the Warriors potentially benching people and being on a back-to-back. 238.5?
And the last meeting went under. It went
under.
Well,
you said a couple people didn't play, but Nembhard ended up going for a masterclass.
So I mean, it bounced out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it did bounce
I'm with
out.
you. I think money's coming in on the over. I think money's coming in on the over, and you just say, fuck it, take the under.
Golden State can win this game, and the game still goes under because they just put the clamps down defensively, or Indiana has an off game. Like, you need both offenses to play very well.
And that's what Steve Kerr was talking about last night when they asked him on TV. They said, hey, I know you know what the road record is. Like, what do you have to do to turn that around? And he said, we got to clamp down defensively. Like, that's the issue. So you very well could get a defensive, I wouldn't say a masterclass, but you could see some effort on the defense tonight, especially after getting run out the gym yesterday.
But if I told you the Warriors end up winning this game and they give up 115, not a good defensive game, but good enough.
Yeah.
115 is actually a pretty good defensive showing for this total.
I wonder what Indiana's team total is. I think that's something I would play. I would if I had to back the Warriors, I'm trying to pull it up.
It's gonna have to be it's gonna be like 120.
Yeah. If I had to back the Warriors, I would back them there and just say that, all right, they're locking in a little bit more. 119.5. Yeah. So just don't let them score 120. I think they could not let them score 120. and still lose the game.
You say it all the time. One bad quarter and the over screwed in a 238.5 with a team on a back-to-back. Golden State will probably voluntarily slow the pace in the second half because the team's going to be gassed.
Okay. Yep. That's my favorite play in the game. Under 238, under Pacers team total. Unfortunately, I still like the Pacers to win the game.
Yeah, I still think it might be a coin flip, but for spot alone, I have to lean to Indiana.
Yeah. All right. We haven't given out any props yet. You have any props?
Halliburton, I think, is going to have a very good game here. We saw Golden State struggle.
He had 1 point.
We saw him struggle against Nembhard in the first meeting this season, which just tells me that Golden State against the point guard position could definitely use a lot of work. Halliburton's assists are at 10.5. His points are at 19.5. I'm just expecting a bounce-back game for Halliburton. I think he's got a very good matchup.
All right. I like it. I'm with you. Cosign there. Next game on the slate, we have the New York Knickerbockers going to play the Chicago Bulls on the road. 4.5. You get minus 4.5 with Chicago in Chicago. 225.5 is the total for that one. Whoa. Why did that happen? All right, injury report here for that game. And we have for the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson is questionable with the foot. If you've seen the picture of the Knicks holiday party, you see Jalen Brunson standing there in a boot. Obi Toppin, you're not going to see in this game. It's really all that matters. And you have Alex Caruso, who is probable, Ayo Dosunmu, who is questionable, and you're not going to see Lonzo. Let's see.
You're the Knicks fan, so I'm going to let you go first.
Tom Thibodeau has a 9-4 record against the Bulls since leaving them. So let's throw that out there. They've won 49% of their games, but he has a 9-4 record against the Bulls. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That actually might have changed my mind a little bit.
Historically speaking, even before you mention the Thibodeau numbers, the Knicks have done well against Chicago.
Yeah.
That I knew.
Yeah, they have.
There's really one angle that I like in this game, but I wanted you to go first.
I don't like this game. Maybe it's my pessimism on the Knicks, but I mean, the Knicks do play
does
better.
Does it solely come down to Brunson for you? Like, if Brunson plays, you'll take the Knicks. If he doesn't, you'll take Chicago. Is it that simple?
I mean, I feel like it is just because I don't trust RJ Barrett right now. And so without RJ Barrett and not trusting Thibodeau to give quickly and, guys, the minutes that they really need to be effective, because those guys are somewhat like got to warm up into the game and all that.
At least he gave Grimes minutes.
Grimes gets minutes, and I appreciate that. But it's like, I don't know. I don't like Tibbs' rotation. I really don't like Tibbs as a coach. And
I think
it makes me
coach,
hard.
But at least he gave Grimes minutes.
I'm trying to think. Does Chicago even cover the spread at home?
That's the interesting part, because it opened up at around 4, so it really hasn't moved that much. And yet Brunson is, I'm assuming, not going to play. You mentioned that he's been in a boot.
Yeah, I mean, now boot could be just for protection of the foot, and when he gets on the court, they don't want him to be putting any weight or anything on the. Like, that's perfectly fine.
Moved that much, which means that I don't think the markets actually respect the Bulls too much.
But I'm looking at money coming. Like, people are betting the Bulls.
But that's my point. People are betting the Bulls, but the line hasn't moved that much.
Why hasn't this line moved a lot? Oh my gosh. Am I really about to take the Knicks on the road? Chicago's not good. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say Chicago's not good.
They're better at home, but they haven't been great at home lately. First of all, I'm just going to say I am taking the Knicks. But my favorite play in this game is actually Bulls team total under at 115.5.
Really?
Yeah. If you want to know a fun little fact here, last 5 games, the number 1 defensive team in terms of efficiency, the New York Knicks.
Yeah, no, they've been great. 99 to Sacramento, 99 to Sacramento, 102 to Charlotte, 89 to Atlanta, 81 to Cleveland, and then the outlier 121 to Dallas.
Yeah, ever since that Dallas game, they woke up. But 3 of those 4 games were at home. The one road game was against Charlotte. But Chicago offensively has been okay this season. They're kind of middle of the road. But once again, number 1 defense in the league the last 5 games. Chicago, for their point total, 115.5. I think the Knicks can throw different looks at Chicago. And even if Brunson doesn't play, I think Brunson's an okay defensive player. He's not great by any means, but you could argue the Knicks can definitely give you a lot of length with Brunson being out. Grimes has been great defensively. Maybe Reddish can be found in the rotation with Brunson
he's
being
not.
out.
He's
I
not in
doubt
the
it.
rotation.
I think he's just done. I think he's just
they
done,
say he's not in
but
the rotation. They need somebody else with a different skill set.
point is that also during those 5 games, though, the Knicks do rank 20th in pace. So they have been playing a lot slower for the last couple of games. And I do think for a total of 115.5 for a team total against the number 1 defense in the league in a short sample size, I think it's a little too high. And historically speaking, these games have been low scoring. I believe 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone under the posted total. I'm going to lean to the under, and I'll lean to the Bulls team total under. I'll keep backing this Knicks defense. They look really good.
All right.
That's my main angle, because they faced off against good offenses. Sacramento, they shut down. Cleveland, they shut down. And Mitchell did play in that game, by the way. And they only gave up like 80 points and change. So I'm going to go with the team total under for Chicago. I'll bank on New York to do what they do best recently. We just put the clamps down, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Because I need to make a decision. And I think that the deciding factor, because I do think this is somewhat of a coin flip. And because it's a coin flip, and the fact that the Knicks are 4th in the NBA in the last 5 games in points inside the paint, and that's how Chicago does their work. They get inside the paint. DeRozan tries to find a shot in the mid-range, and I think DeRozan still has a really good game. But I think the Knicks can limit a lot of other people, so I do want to play that under, and I think I'll just go ahead and take the Knicks plus 4.5. But I don't like it just because I truly think that Chicago decides that they want to play NBA level basketball at home.
Do you have any thoughts on the team total or anything that I said about the
No, I like the team total. I already was leaning to the under anyway. So the team, when you said the Bulls team total, it made sense.
It seems large for a team that's given up less than 103 in the last 4 games.
And the fact that like you have to have it. You have to have that influx of points because you have them as a 4.5 point favorite. So I don't think even in a loss the Knicks give up 115. So yeah, this Bulls team's not good. We'll see what happens with Caruso and DeSamu, but if Caruso's in the lineup, that just helps our under even more. All right. Ew, I hate that game. Next game on the slate, we have the no, let's not do that. Let's do an ad read because we got to talk about WinBet. WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. You got exclusive rewards. You got online sports betting. You got casino play. You got the win, build your own bet. You have the win hour. You have everything you need at WinBet. Plus, new customers can bet $100, get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject change terms, conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 older, present in state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right. Sacramento Kings are traveling to Toronto to play Toronto Raptors. -5 for the Raptors. 232 is the total. Injury report for these two, and we have. Oh man,
Anunoby's out. That's the main story. But
that's a huge piece of the story.
And Achu is out. But
yep, for the Kings, you have Alex Len. I didn't even know he was still in the league. TBD, apparently, Rionis.
He's keeping the bench warm.
Yeah, appreciate him. And you have Bo Cruz, who's likely to play. And then you got Anunoby, Otto Porter Jr., and Achua, who are all out.
Are we assuming Sacramento benches anybody because they played last night? Or do you think that after getting blown out by Philly, Mike Brown just tells them all, play through it, you didn't earn the day off?
I just don't think Sacramento's a team to bench people on it.
They,
Maybe Fox, maybe,
they
but
gave up 80 in the first half. Like I'm
yeah,
not sure if any of them are worthy of getting a day off after yesterday. That was embarrassing against Philly.
it was very good on the Philly pick, but very embarrassing for them. I mean, it's the same story. Toronto at home.
I'm on
Um,
Toronto as well. Sacramento's been terrible the past week. They've been really, really bad, especially defensively.
and it's a tough road trip to go East Coast for a West Coast team. It is like your body's they're probably just now somewhat adjusting to the East Coast time today, and this is what game 4 on the East Coast, game 5 on the East Coast. Still got one
It
more.
hasn't been good so far.
So yeah, I mean,
You're traveling to Canada in December. You
I
play
feel confident. I feel confident in Toronto winning the game and covering. It's the total is what's getting me because I'm trying to figure out, is Sacramento going to show up and shoot the basketball today? I lied. Let me say it again.
Can
Is
they
Sacramento
guard?
going to show up and shoot the basketball effectively today?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can guard. So like voluntarily, they're getting into a shootout. Best case scenario, but it's a back to back. They're traveling to Canada in the middle of December. Once again, they're a West Coast team. They're going to be miserable. Like you think they're happy about going to Canada on a back to back?
Oh, that walk off the bus is crazy. That walk getting off the bus is crazy.
I don't think they're ready for it, to be honest. I think
Pull the
Sacramento
pull the
loses.
bus inside the stadium. Don't let us be outside.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be an ugly game for Sacramento. It's really just a terrible spot.
I think I'm really just trying to figure out how I want to fade Sacramento. Like, there's a number of different ways to fade them. I'm trying to figure out which one is the best one.
I'll just lay the 5 points with Toronto at home.
Yeah. Let me look at one more thing. Because he could have a very, very good day today. Okay. It's all right. This wasn't what I was looking for, but I'm going to recommend to my clients that we play. I just need to look at one more thing to confirm. Yeah. Let's play Gary Trent Jr.
Okay.
I think this is a good Gary Trent Jr. with how lackadaisical that the Kings looked on defense, and they have a day to turn around. They very well could turn around. I don't think they close out on shooters fast enough. And if you give Gary Trent Jr. space, he's going to light you up from 3. And his minutes and usage goes all the way up when Anunoby is not in the game. And he gets a lot of those Anunoby looks in the corner outside from 3 where guys just don't end up closing out on him. And like that's not part of the game plan. Like, you're focusing on Scotty Barnes, you're focusing on VanVleet, you're focusing on Siakam. Like, Gary Trent Jr. and Anunoby are not a part of the game plan. And so now Trent Jr. back in the starting lineup with Anunoby out. I think that this could be another good spot. He had 24 the last game, 20 this game, 18, 20. Like, he's gotten the looks and the minutes. I think that backing him.
Do you prefer points or threes?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I got to look at a number, and that'll make me feel better. Let me see if I can find a number. We have Trent Jr. for 20.5 points. Okay, that's not where I wanted it to be, but understandable. And 2.5 threes. All right, yeah, we're taking the threes. 2.5 threes minus 120.
Yeah, that number seems short. He could go for like 5.
I thought I was going to see 3.5 for plus money.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he definitely can go for 5. 5 is plus 550. I like that. I'm
like
going
for a long shot there. I don't mind it.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. All right. I was wondering how I wanted to play that game, and that's how I want to do it. I'm on Gary Trent Jr. tonight.
I don't mind a sneaky look at like VanVleet double.
Yeah.
I think his assists could get up there in this game.
I hate playing favorites team total over like this, but I feel like I got to be on Toronto to score.
Sacramento can't guard anybody, and they're going to be exhausted. Like, I think it's a really bad spot for Sacramento.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the over 232 and that. 232. I'm going to stick with the over. All right, next game on the slate, we have the Miami Heat playing the OKC Thunder. Minus 2.5 on the road for the Miami Heat. 223 is the total. Let's see here for an injury report. We have for the Miami Heat. Should I take another deep breath? Jimmy Butler is out for injury management. Tyler Hero, Max Strus, Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson are all probable. Dwayne Dedman is questionable. Gabe Vincent is out. And for OKC, James Robinson Earl is out. Kenrich Williams is out. Dieng is out. Jalen Williams is out. And then you know about Chet Holmgren. So some depth pieces missing for OKC for sure. It's not changing my handicap. I'm not taking the Heat as a favorite. I'm not doing that right now.
Especially on the road.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that right now. I trust Shea too much. I trust him more than probably anybody else on the other side of the ball. And I mean, Tyler Hero's the closest thing to when he's playing and he's healthy, he's effective. But Shea, I think, is gonna go run rampant. He's gonna cook the fuck out of Kyle Lowry. Like Kyle Lowry might be switching on to somebody else, and they may be trying a different defensive approach. Probably Victor. I would put Victor Oladipo on him.
You might have to give him serious minutes here, but I don't think Hero can guard him either. Hero's not exactly a good defensive player.
I feel like you got to put Victor Oladipo on him.
And for the numbers, by the way, Miami's 4-9 on the road. That's straight up. It's not even against the spread.
Yeah, no, they suck. Yeah, no. I mean, Miami being I think there was one time this season, and it was against Portland, that I like Miami as a road favorite. And every other time I fade them ever since. Still doing pretty well. I think
the only pro Miami angle I have is player props, and it's just Bam.
But Bam, okay, you give out Bam. I can't give out Bam because when I give out Bam, he kills you. No,
I know.
I'm not giving Bam out. I refuse to give Bam out.
He's against Pokashevsky. Like
I don't care.
He needs to have a good game.
I do not care. Every time I sit here on this show, or I'm in a group chat with my friends, or I'm sitting there betting for myself, and I bet on Bam Adebayo, he folds. Literally every single time. Bam Adebayo is on the blacklist. I don't care if he goes for 20 and 25 games straight. I'm not putting money on Bam Adebayo. I cannot do it.
I'll take the rebounds for Adebayo at around 10.5. I understand that personal bets have not exactly gone well with him. It's a very good spot.
It's everybody. It's not just us, Scott. It's not just us. It's literally everybody. Everybody bets on Bam, and Bam folds every time everybody bets on him. No, I'm not doing it.
I actually have not bet on Bam yet this season, but I think it's a good spot. Like it's really just a situation where you want Bam to be more aggressive. He's never aggressive enough, but he's got a very good matchup here.
What was the game that I just cussed him out in, where he just went the fuck off? And it was like, of course, the game that I don't touch him, he goes.
I thought it was the last game. Didn't he have like 17
Was it last
rebounds?
game?
Like,
yeah,
it was against Pacers. He had like 20 and 17.
Yes, like that shit pissed me the fuck off because I know for a fact that if I put money on him, he would not have did that. I know that for a fact. Yes, he had 19 and 17. I mean, not 19.
He had 22 and 17.
Yes, no, I'm not betting Bam. Fuck Bam. Like fuck.
I'll go with the
Bam.
Rebounds. Whatever. It's a good spot. That's how
it is. It's an amazing spot, and if somebody does it, I don't blame you. But it's just every time. It's every time, literally.
Adebayo has like some Aiton tendencies where you just want him to realize he's 7 feet tall. It's like he forgets
and that you're really
is.
Fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
It was one time I bet on his rebounds. I think it was at 8.5, and he had 3 in the fourth quarter. 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm almost positive it was a great matchup.
I feel like Aiton and Adebayo are a pretty good comparison mentally because they play like they're 6'7" when they're 7 feet tall.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good spot. And OKC's missing one of its starting centers who weren't very good to begin with. So
matter of fact, fuck Bam. What's Buddy from OKC's name again?
I don't know where you're going with this.
What's Buddy from OKC, the center? I'm blanking. Pokashevsky. Him.
Oh, you mean for the Thunder?
Yeah. I mean, not yeah, for the Thunder. What'd I say?
I don't see his props at.
I don't see his props either, but when they drop his props, I will take him.
Okay, so you're going with the Bam fade out of spite.
But I'm not going to fade Bam because I know for a fact if I fade Bam, he's going to go crazy.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take the person on the other side of the ball and just hope that Bam lets him have a good day.
Fair enough.
So give me Poboszewski rebounds and a Poboszewski double-double.
I don't see any lines on that yet because it has not been confirmed he's starting, but I'm assuming he's going to start.
Yeah, more than likely. All right. Let's keep going. I just know, like, I'm not even hearing the listeners, and I just know everybody felt what I was saying because there's been so many people that's bet on Bam, and he's folded consistently. All right, the Portland Trailblazers are playing the San Antonio Spurs, -7.5 on the road for the Portland Trailblazers. 230.5 is the total. Man, where is my injury report? All right, for our injury report here for the Portland Trailblazers, we have Josh Hart and Drew Eubanks, who are probable for this game. Nazir Little, Gary Payton, or you're not going to see in this game. This is just like Portland is going to be a fun team to back later in the season. I'm going to let you know that right now. And for the Spurs, Zach Collins, Romeo Langford are doubtful. Bates Dopp and Josh Richardson are questionable. Stanley Johnson was just signed. And you're not going to see Jacopoto or Blake Wesley in these games. So, I mean,
are we just banking on a Lillard 30 piece in this game?
Yeah. I think Lillard and Vassell are the two.
Plus point number with the 27.5. That's why I was asking, because Lillard's been a damn lunatic for the last couple of games.
He very much has. And Spurs won the last game?
Against Portland or in general?
Yeah, they won 2 in a row. They won 3 in a row.
Going 3 in a row. They played well.
Yeah, 3 in a row. They beat the Rockets at home, 118-109. Beat the Miami on the road. Come on,
that
people.
Cleveland win is nice.
Come on, people. I told you. Miami lost at home to San Antonio.
Yes,
Cleveland win very nice because Cleveland came back and they still found a way to win that game.
And Mitchell played in that game. So Cleveland was at full strength.
Yeah, very good game for them. Fade City.
I don't know if I want to lay 7.5 with Portland on the road.
You sure?
I'm not sure if I do. Like, they beat Minnesota twice at home. Like, you're looking at the recent games that Portland's played, and they've done pretty well. All those games were at home. They're traveling on the road for the first time in a couple weeks.
Well, they are 10-4 ATS on the road.
Yeah, but
majority of those are dogs. So I will say majority of those are dogs. Let me see what they are as a road.
They won the first meeting by 7 at home against San Antonio, for the record. I think I'm just on Lillard props. Like, I feel like there's a couple ways to bet Lillard. You could argue that you can give him all the props. You can bet on the points, bet on the threes. If you want to even experiment, you could bet on the points and the double-double because one of those should win minimum. Lillard double-doubles plus 220. He had 12 assists in the first game. But Lillard the last 3 games has scored at least, 35 points in each of the last 3 games? 36 points in each of the last 3 games? I mean, he could have probably gone for 50 last game if they didn't pull him. He had 11 3-pointers.
So I think the only reason that Lillard isn't going for like the crazy games this year is because he doesn't have to, because you have Grant and Simons alongside you, and you can, feed the ball in between there. And they have a really good team this year, so he doesn't have to do what he was used to doing. 1-0 as a road favorite this season. Now I'm determined to figure out what that one game was. So,
by the way, each of the last 3 games, Lillard has scored at least 36 points. His player prop was 27.5. Like, that number just seems too low to me.
Okay, the one road favorite that they were was Charlotte. They were a favorite of 2, won by 10.
Okay. I had money on that game.
I did too. All right, fuck it. Give me Portland -7.5. I'm trying to decide if I want to lock it up or not. They've won 3 in a row. Come on now. They won 3 in a row. You're fucking up the tank. And that's probably what it is. They probably sit here and say, hold on, we're fucking up our tanking. And Devin Vassell and Johnson go off. Everybody else just chill.
I think I'm going to lean to San Antonio here. I like the current form. I think 7.5 is a little bit too large. But I do like the Lillard props. I don't know if you agree on assists or not, points, whatever the hell. Like, if Lillard goes for 30 and 10, you win both, which is actually a reasonable stat line for Lillard in this game because the Spurs are allowing north of 120 points per game. Give me the Lillard props. I think Lillard could have another fantastic game here.
Slight reverse my movement in this game. All the money's on the over, and the totals come down half a point.
Interesting. Okay.
Spurs don't do their end of the scoring. Give me the under. Give me Portland -7.5. Give me Portland team total over. Give me Devin Vassell over his points, and give me Damian Lillard over his points and assists prop.
Okay.
That's how we play it. We combine them. All right. Next game on the slate, we have Cleveland Cavaliers going to play Dallas. In Dallas, -2 for the Mavericks. 215.5 is the total. Total opened up at 213.5. For Cleveland, we have Dean Wade, Ricky Rubio, and Dylan Windler all not in this game. So Cleveland's basically at full strength. And you have Maxi Kleber questionable, Josh Green is out, and Davis Bertans is available. Two of the slowest pace teams, and the totals come up 2 points.
Mm.
Little question mark there.
I'm leaning Dallas on the side, but I think I have to.
Cleveland's not good on the road.
They're terrible on the road. They're 5-9 straight up on the highway. We're looking at the last couple games. Cleveland has not been very good. They've been alternating wins and losses on the road. They scored 81 against the Knicks. They lost to San Antonio. They lost by 1. They were down roughly double digits. They had a thrilling comeback just to make it a heartbreaker, but they were losing by a decent margin for most of that game. I just don't like the current form. I know you've been higher on Bickerstaff than I have been in the past, mostly because of fourth quarter execution. I just think that he's a terrible fourth quarter coach. I don't think he's that bad overall, but in the fourth quarter, his teams tend to fall apart. Dallas at home is very, very good. Dallas is, I believe, 11-4 straight up at home. They're one game over, so they're kind of like Golden
ATS,
State.
They're terrible.
Yeah, ATS, they're terrible, but the spread's only 2.
Yeah. So you're getting some leeway there. And I think that's why I'm on Dallas too.
They're a good home team. They're against a bad road team. It's like Golden State. At home, you could blindly kind of back them, and they usually win the game. And on the road, they're useless. So
on the road, Cleveland is 4-9-1 against the spread, 2-5 as an underdog. Period. As a favorite, you're not getting much confidence in Dallas. 6-14-1 as a favorite. It's really bad.
What are they at home though?
5-9-1 at home. ATS. Okay. So they're really not well. It's really the money line stats that do it for Dallas. They just find a way to win the game and not cover. And maybe we just say, hey, take Dallas money line, and Cleveland loses by 1 again.
Yeah. For the total, I like a live under. I think this fourth quarter is going to be disgusting. You have 2 of the worst or bottom 10 fourth quarter teams. Just looking at like point differential, especially on the road for Cleveland. I think this could be a really, really ugly fourth quarter. I think the totals come up because they expect Luka to go nuts. They expect Mitchell to play well. And maybe you have a high-scoring first half. I think the second half turns into a rock fight. Especially with the pace numbers you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good live under spot.
I agree because I think that's the best way to play the total. I was trying to decide if I wanted to play the total early because the movement is weird. And I get kind of, because even though they've been a very slow paced team, Dallas has been pretty good to the over, like really good to the over this season. It's gone over in 7 of the last 10, 9-6 to the over at home, 13-8 as a favorite, 17-10 overall. And then we know that Cleveland is just a dog under team, but Dallas profiles as a dog under team. It's just that they've been getting over these totals. So I think that's the only thing that's kind of swaying me to just not playing the total. But I do like your angle of trying to get a larger number on that under and then betting the under. So that's probably something that I'll be looking to do live.
Looking briefly at some of these numbers, there is one under that I do like pregame. And it's going to segue back into my point of a rock fight in the fourth quarter. I like the fourth quarter under. It's at 55.5.
Yeah.
55.5. Dallas is scoring the third fewest points per game in the fourth quarter. They're averaging 25.1. Cleveland is ranking 22nd. They're averaging 25.9. So combined, they're averaging roughly 51 points total. It's 55 and a half. That's a very high total for a fourth quarter. With two slow-paced teams, the game always slows down in the fourth quarter. I'll take that under. 55 and a half sounds way too high for the fourth quarter.
All right. Like it. Good point there. Good notes, Scott. Denver is playing the Washington Wizards at home. You have -10 for the Nuggets. 226 and a half is the total. And for the injury report for this one, we have for Washington, Bradley Beal was questionable. I don't know. I can't tell you. Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. Monty Morris is questionable. Anthony Gill is questionable. You're not going to see Rui Hachimura, Delon Wright. And for the Nuggets, Mike Porter Jr., you're not going to see him for a little bit. So pretty clean for Denver outside of that.
Oh, by the way, breaking news. LaMelo might return to the lineup tonight against Detroit.
Breaking news, because that's big.
Yeah.
But I feel like whenever LaMelo has come back from injury, he hasn't been effective in that first game. It was the second game that he's gone off. I'm going to go back and check that.
Now I have to love the over if LaMelo plays.
Yeah, you're right, because they're going to run.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to run. All right.
Denver should smack them, but I can't trust them to win. Denver no-shows, like, it looks like they don't care half the time.
Yeah.
They should.
I push my luck with taking Denver as double-digit favorites against the Rockets. I don't think I want to do it again.
JD mentioned the point I was actually about to make, which is revenge games for KCP, Morris, and Barton.
Is this the first time they played?
I believe so.
Oh,
I don't know why they would have faced.
Wait, what did Denver get in this trade?
Wait, what?
Wait, what did Denver get in that trade? No, okay, yeah, Monty Morris. Oh, yeah. So it was KCP and then Monty Morris, Will Barton, and then wait. So they got KCP. They didn't get anything else other than KCP?
I don't believe so.
No, they didn't trade them for just KCP. Was it really just KCP?
I think it was. It might have been a depth piece in there, or maybe a pick. But
yeah, maybe something. Yeah, maybe a pick.
Washington's lost 7 straight, so they've kind of fallen off a cliff. They're terrible on the road. They're 3-10 on the highway. You want to make a case for Washington besides just not trusting Denver? Because once again, on paper, everything's going to point to Denver. The question is, do you trust them enough to actually win by double digits? Oh, Ish Smith.
Really.
That's right. Kenny mentioned Ish Smith. I forgot about him. That's right.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I knew it was somebody else in that trade.
My bad.
Yeah, the journeyman. All right. Oh, man. I don't trust Denver, but I'm having a hard time seeing the openings for Washington to get this done.
I would rather take Kuzma props, if I'm being honest, if I wanted to back anything Washington related. Because if they're going to cover, Kuzma probably has to have a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather take his props because you could win if Denver blows it open, but they've lost 7 straight. This team's not very good. All signs are going to point to Denver. It's just the fact they're not good as double-digit favorites. So give me Kuzma props. I'll lean Denver. Maybe I'll lean Jokic triple-double if I wanted to go for some plus money props. But once again, I don't see much value here. Do you?
All right. So I'm trying to make my case for, because I'm not taking Denver. I'm taking Washington +10. I'm just trying to get a reason for why I'm taking Washington other than the fact that I don't trust Denver.
Do you prefer to take the points, or would you rather just take Kuzma 20-something plus?
I mean, of course, I would rather just play, like, especially if Beal is not playing and potentially Porzingis is not playing either. Like, of course, I'd rather be on Kuzma. But in terms of picking the spread, I think that the issue here is that because while Washington is not that good defensively, they do guard the painted area, and they're actually defending the paint pretty well this season. Top 10 in terms of points inside the paint. And that's where not Dallas, but that's where Denver likes to go to work in that inside of the paint. And Joker likes to get there, get his points on the inside. So it's like, all right, can they throw a body at him? Can they throw a body at him without getting in foul trouble? That I truly don't know. And that's the only reason why I'm kind of scared.
Who do you throw? Gafford?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. That's
I'm assuming it'll be Gafford.
Joker should eat this game.
He should. He should.
And I like KCP on the outside just because of all the attention that Joker is going to get on. I feel like KCP is going to have some opportunities, at least 3-point shooting for this team. Maybe Bruce Brown, actually. Bruce Brown hits some big 3-point shots at home, and I'm pretty sure his 3-pointers are at 1.5 probably. So maybe Bruce Brown for 3-point shots, and they close out on KCP, don't close out on Bruce Brown. That kind of makes sense to me. I hate this game. Yeah, I'm not laying the points. Just give me Washington plus 10, but tread lightly because again, here are the numbers. Last 10 games, Washington is 2-7-1. Denver is 4-6. Washington on the road 5-7-1. Denver is 5-5 at home. And as a favorite, Denver is 8-12. As an underdog, Washington is 6-9-1. I don't trust this game at all, and I don't trust either side. To be honest, I'll take Washington plus 10.
Okay.
All right, next game on the slate. Oh wait, total 226.5. Yeah, I'm on a. Yeah,
I think I have to lean to the under because I don't know who's playing for Washington.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I really make a case for the over if I'm not sure Beal or any of these guys are going to play? Like, I don't know if I can make a case for it.
If I get one of Beal or Porzingis, then I feel good about the over.
Yeah.
If I get one of them, I feel good. But if I'm missing both of them, then no, I'm not doing it. All right. Last game of the slate, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Los Angeles Clippers. -6.5 for the Clippers. 223 is the total. Let's go get an injury report here. And we have... Where did you go? For the Minnesota Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell is questionable. Jordan McLaughlin is out. And you're not going to see Cat or Torian Prince. And for the Clippers, Norman Powell is the only name listed. But it's also 12-14 at time of recording on the East Coast. So plenty of time.
Do you want to make any case for Minnesota?
Clippers suck.
Assuming that Kawhi and Paul George are playing.
Clippers suck.
Okay. Do they actually suck?
Yes.
You think so?
I don't think the Clippers are a good team, and it's because of availability.
Okay, but
if everybody is available, they are a good team. But they also everybody's never available. Everybody's never available, and everybody doesn't play together for 2 games in a row to have any type of chemistry on this team.
I'm saying it because for this game, it appears that availability will not be a concern.
Yes,
for this game
that is what it appears.
That's why I brought it up.
As of right now, it does appear availability is not a concern.
I have to like the Clippers. Like Minnesota, so they're just terrible. This team's awful. I think the Clippers are a good team. Like, I think they're fine if availability is a question. If both of them play, they're probably a top 5 team in the league. Minnesota's not a playoff team. I've roasted this team since the start of the season.
They also took a buzzer beater to the full strength, took a buzzer beater to the Hornets, and I think they were full strength and that lost against the Magic.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I don't know about the Magic game. I think they choked away a decent lead there in the fourth quarter, but Clippers are at home. Minnesota just lost back-to-back games to Portland. Lillard did whatever the hell he wanted against that team. Minnesota can't guard anybody. Offensively, they're not great. They haven't made any adjustments throughout the entire season. I like the Clippers here. As you said before, availability is the main concern with this team. It appears to not be an issue tonight. I want nothing to do with Minnesota, and when healthy, they did smack the crap out of the Celtics at home. Which you could argue is a statement game. You could argue it's a bunch of different things, but at least they have a gear that I know Minnesota does not have.
But I understand getting up for that game. I completely understand getting up for that game.
Yeah, because they're.
I don't understand why
duo and whatever.
I don't understand why you would get up for this game.
They're
going to win. They're going to win this game. They're not going to cover this number. 6.5. I'm going to take it. Give me the 6.5 with Minnesota. They're going to win the game. They're not going to cover.
I'll lean to the Clippers. I think at home they'll show up. It's mostly just fading Minnesota. This team has shown me nothing, and defensively they are a disaster. I like the over in this game, though, especially for the Clippers. Minnesota defensively has just fallen off a cliff. They're so bad defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind the rebounds for Gobert, though. The fact that Zubac should play a bunch of minutes should give Gobert a lot of
Is
opportunities
it
on
really
the
Nick
glass.
Batum's birthday? Like, do I have to play Nick Batum props today?
Do you
Really?
have props? He's a bench player. I don't know how many props are actually going to find on him.
He started a few games over the course of the season. You might find something.
He started
on
a few
him.
games because Kawhi or Paul George were missing, but since they're both back, he's clearly coming.
No,
back
he
in
played.
minutes.
No, he was in the starting lineup when. Oh well, I think Marcus Morris didn't play in that game. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I'm sure his props will be around somewhere. Maybe. Well, we'll see. We'll see. If he does have props out, I would take the 3-pointers.
Okay.
Because you're probably going to get a nice juicy price, and he can. There, nobody's going to close out on him at 3. So, if he does have props out, I would play his 3-pointers. I wouldn't even test my luck with his points.
Mm-hmm. I just want nothing to do with Minnesota. But the Gobert props are interesting because since Zubac should play a lot of minutes, that is a pretty good spot for Gobert to pick up rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only pro Minnesota take I'll have, but I think the Clippers win this game comfortably.
No. I
In
don't
my
like
eyes.
either of these teams. I'm going to just take the points. It is Nicholas Batum's birthday. It's Robert Covington's birthday, and it's Lonnie Walker's birthday. Well, Lonnie Walker's not playing, so that doesn't matter. 2
teammates share the same birthday? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Okay.
I feel like I feel like I was on Covington for his birthday last year. He disappointed me.
Could be, but I didn't.
Or he hit one prop and didn't hit the one that I really wanted him to hit. They also don't play Covington that much anymore. I don't think.
No, he's had some injury issues as well. But
okay, I'm on +6.5, and I'm on under because I think neither one of these teams are going to be effective scoring the ball. All right. Let's talk about Underdog Fantasy, and they are sponsoring our Lock and Dog segment for this episode, where you can sign up at Underdog and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Promo code SGPN. Just go to UnderdogFantasy.com. You can do best ball. You can do their weekly battle royal format. You have pick'em contests, all of that stuff. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. I use Underdog all the time. I go in there and play player props, do a couple player prop parlays in there, get some nice 6 times, 10 times, 20 times odds. So definitely like that for Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100 if you have not signed up. All right, Lock and Dog. For my lock, Toronto, Portland. Let's go against the grain. Let's go with Portland, -7.5. For my dog, I'm just seeing this Denver line go down 0.5 point right before my eyes. That could be fun. I'm not taking the Knicks. Probably a good spot. I'm not taking the Knicks. All right. Do I want to shoot for the moon, or do I want to just give you something that I think is going to win and get up out of here? Somebody drop it in chat. Shoot for the moon or a low dog. Real quick. Hurry up. Hurry.
Shoot for the moon.
Hurry. All right. Shooting for the moon.
Do you need to ask me?
I don't know. I was asking the people which one do they want.
You're the villain.
Which one do they want?
When does the villain ever settle for like petty larceny?
Washington sucks though. Washington sucks though. Like it's really hard. It is a good spot, and I did just see that. I did just watch the line go down. All right, fuck it. All right, whatever. Washington +350. Fuck you, Scott.
Okay, let's go. That's what I'm looking for.
That's my dog.
Give me the fire that we're looking for. Let's go.
What is your picks?
I'm taking Toronto as the lock. I think that it's a great spot. Sacramento has struggled a lot defensively lately. They're traveling to Canada on a back-to-back. Once again, they live in California. I'm sure a lot of them have houses in California. Now they're going to Canada. Like, have fun on the travel there. I'll go with Toronto minus I believe the line's 5 now. Is that right? I think it's 5.
Yep.
So I'll take that. And for my dog, it's going to be a player prop. The question is, which one do I want? What do you think? Lillard 30+ points or 10+ assists?
Ooh. It's hard to get in front of Damian Lillard right now. When the last time he had double-double?
A couple games ago. I think it was 4 games ago, but he had a double-double against the Spurs in the first meeting this season.
Spurs really shouldn't cover anybody.
No,
Let's
but I
go
don't know if he's
for-
going to pass because he's clearly feeling it from behind the arc.
Yeah, he is. He really is. I am gonna say go with the points. Let's
Okay.
just keep backing Lillard until he burns.
Okay, so let me just quickly pull that up because I'm not sure if I want 30 or 35. I might go for the moon as well. I'm looking at Lillard 35. Let me just. Damn it, I hate it when these sports books don't fully load up. Okay, sorry, just pulling it up here.
Nope, you're good.
So full game totals 230.5. By the way, so you're expecting a bunch of points in this game, which definitely helps out the overs. So Lillard for 35 plus points is a casual plus 250,
Okay.
which I like. I'm curious what the threes are, because I'm wondering if I can get a good price here for Lillard threes.
If you get a better price on the 5 threes, I say take it.
Now 5 threes is plus 145. That I do like,
No.
though. I really
It
do
is
like
good.
that plus 145. But yeah, I'll go with the 35 plus points. Let's go for it. Lillard, give me a 40 piece. Let's go.
I was secretly peer pressuring you in my head, and if you didn't do it, I was going to call you out. All right. Other than that, Scott, anything else for the episode?
No, not really. Looking forward to the 10-game slate. Let's make some money.
All right, everybody, make sure you leave a review on Spotify, on Apple. Make sure you rate all of that. Subscribe on YouTube.
One more thing, actually. Terrell and I will be back later on today to cover the Thursday night football game and the DFS slate.
Yes, we will. So catch us on the NFL Gambling Podcast later. Other than that, I mean, I really don't have anything else. Make sure you all show love as you can. You can figure out when we go live. So if you heard me talking to the people in the chat, you can catch us live on YouTube. Subscribe. It will tell you the time that we go live, typically around 11 a.m. Eastern, somewhere around there for the most part. Other than that, I really have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. We're just going to end it like this. We are out of here.